Can we maybe, can we maybe get a little bit of information from you guys about what you hope to find out a little bit more about today and where you are in your Twitter readiness realm? We had kind of planned if we need to split off if people are at different stages of their Twitter using. So anybody who feels comfortable speaking up, like what are you hopeful to get from today's session?
You can type in the chat too if you don't want to talk.
Well, I don't really use it, so I'm just trying to find out.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just kind of follow along, but like I don't follow kids on Twitter, like I don't have any of their accounts.
I'm a beginner too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I use it multiple times a day.
Yes, you do.
Are you in yet? You're in? Okay.
I have found it to
Okay.
be
Bye.
my biggest source of information over the last week or so, outside of our emails from Dr. Spence. It's been peace of mind being able to hear from teachers from around the city who are on Twitter and just what's going on with them and having similar thoughts and emotions and being able to bounce ideas outside of just our schools. So that's why Miss Lehner and I both thought that this was a great way to get some of the people that haven't been on, that you want information. Twitter's been a great place to go to get information and hear ideas and what's working, and a lot of positivity coming out of Twitter as well, of successes that are happening from not just our schools and not just high schools, but even elementary schools and middle schools, and seeing what they're doing. And I just, when I come in the morning, the first thing I do is log on to my Google Meet office hours and then open up Twitter to see what's going on. It's been really great.
I use it as like a way to showcase what the kids are doing.
Absolutely.
And I feel kind of the same way in that yesterday I was feeling feelings about things yesterday, and I got on Twitter and it was nice to get on and see other people were also feeling terrible because I was too. And then I felt a little less ridiculous. So it was a nice source of like camaraderie yesterday.
Agreed.
So I've used Twitter a little bit. Definitely have an account set up. I think it's a great professional resource, but I need advice on like what to retweet, what to comment on, what to hashtag, what to, I don't really understand any of that.
Okay, we could definitely do
Puppy.
Puppy.
Oh my goodness.
He's so cute.
So I think that's a really great point, Shelby, and something, you know, that I would like to echo about Jen's response too is I use Twitter a ton. I run our GRHS Stallions account and my own account, and really my main platform is showcasing Green Run and highlighting all of the amazing things that we do, that you all do, that our kids do. So trying to figure out what your message is just as a Twitter profile, and then trying to align with who you should follow and what you maybe should like and retweet from there, you know, making sure that's in alignment with what your goals are for Twitter. If it's for professional learning, you know, Shelby, you may want to connect more with just other math specialists around the whole country. You might want to look at other subjects too. So we can help to talk about some of those resources too. I know Jen has on some of the slides like who to follow first. And that would just be the people on Twitter that you could connect with to see what they're putting out there. And we're going to give you guys some time to just kind of play as well today.
And okay, so I think I'll get started. But I did share at the top of the chat are the slides. So if anyone wants a copy of the slides, you have them. These slides were given to us kindly from an elementary school. One of their ITSs and their principal did this earlier or late last week on Friday, and we kind of asked them to please share it, and so they get most of the credit for this. And the only thing I added were things that they said they thought didn't go well, so I was able to tweak it, so that's always nice. I do have a bit of a sore throat, so I hope you guys can hear me. Utah? So what is Twitter? I'm sure you guys know what it is, but just in case, it's a social media platform with short posts. You are limited in the size of your posts and the number of characters, and conveniently they put a little number at the bottom so you can keep track of where you are, and it does promote editing because it's too long. You need to go in and shorten it up a little bit, short and sweet. And it's a place where you can connect and engage with other people who have similar interests. I have a Twitter account that is my personal Twitter, which I rarely go on. And then I have my professional Twitter that I use the majority of the time because, like most of you, school pretty much consumes my life. So I don't often have to go on to my personal account, but there's that. So you might want to consider that. Sometimes you'll see those lines get blurred with people who are on Twitter a little bit, and so just something to think about. Why Twitter? It's an easy way to expand your professional learning network, and it's really been great for me as an ITS, being able to hear from other ITSs around the country and seeing where we are in comparison with other countries. I mean, I know we're really struggling right now with the news we got yesterday and just getting our feet under where we are now with our students and trying to stay on top of things. But we are leaps and bounds above other districts that aren't one-to-one. So we can at least take a little solace in knowing we have some contact with our students that other teachers don't have. So it's really easy to sign up. You can do this from your cell phone or from your computer. So if you wanted to minimize this and go into Twitter, you can. If you want to do it from your phone and follow along, you can. It's up to you how you want to do it. So you'll just go to twitter.com and then you're going to choose to create an account if you don't already have one. I know a few of you already have accounts, so bear with us while we get everyone else on. So you're going to go on and you're going to create your account. You can do it with a phone number, an email, either way. And once you get that part filled in, it's going to send you a verification note code to either your phone number or your email, whichever you shared there. So you'll get that verification. You'll send that verification in, and then it's going to pop up and it's going to ask you to pick your profile picture. You can either do that now if you have something, or up at the top it has an option to skip that for now, and I'm going to show you at the end of this where you can go back in and change any of these things that you might skip. You don't have to, but if you do, I'm going to show you how to fix those things in a moment. I'm going to give everybody a moment. I don't want to leave anybody behind, but I also don't want to sit here and just wait either if you're ready to move on. So I'm just going to give you guys about 2 minutes, and then in 2 minutes, I'm going to start to continue. Slowly. Miss Lehner, can you watch the chat and see if anyone needs help with anything? Because I don't have two monitors, unfortunately.
You got it.
All right, it's been 2 minutes. If anyone has any questions or you're stuck anywhere, go ahead and put that in the chat and let Miss Lehner know. Otherwise, I'm going to go on to the next step, but it's still all in this realm of setup. It's going to come up and it's going to ask you to do your bio and, like I said, your picture and some other small things like that. You guys can keep working on that. Once you're in, there's an option for profile. That's what you would click to see your profile and what it looks like. If you choose to edit profile, a screen similar to this is going to come up where you can change your picture, your big picture, I don't know what it's called, the big picture that kind of goes in the background of your actual profile page. The small picture is what you'll see next to your actual tweets. And then you can change your name here. So if you don't want it to be your actual given name and you want it to say maybe Miss Blaze or science teacher, something cute, you know, something in there, that's where you can change your actual Twitter name and then make any adjustments that you need to in your bio. So that's just your profile, edit your profile, and then once you've made those changes, then you can save them. So while people are still getting set up, we'll go over some Twitter vocabulary. Using the @ symbol and mentioning someone tags them in the tweet to let them know that you had something to share with them. So that's how you would tag them, is by using that @ symbol. By starting your tweet with @ and then their username, you can reply to them publicly to the single user. There is private messaging, direct messaging inside of Twitter. So if you see somebody tweet something and you want to get in contact with them on a more private, personal level, to go in and, for example, occasionally I'll have people who are starting up new apps that'll message me and ask if I will look at their app and see if I have any suggestions over how I think my teachers would use it. Things like that. Or someone will say, I have some free giveaway information. If you would like to receive stickers on this, that, or the other, then message me. And so things like that. That's how I use it professionally. Followers. A follower is someone that follows you on Twitter and sees your updates and your home feeds and anything that you post. And then you can also follow other people, and that's how they're going to show up what they tweet in your feed. I think that stuff's pretty basic according to most social media.
Hey, Jen.
Go ahead.
We just had a question about how to edit your Twitter handle. I think did you talk about that already?
Yeah, I can go back.
Can you just go over that one more time?
Sure.
I'm not sure of the answer. Sorry.
Okay. So once you're inside of Twitter, there is an option to go to your profile. So you'll select profile. And then your profile will come up and it'll look something like that. If you click edit profile, this other screen will come up where you can edit your photos or your Twitter handle. So where it says name, the name I put into Twitter is what shows up, but I could click on that name and backspace, and instead of that being my Twitter handle, you can make it whatever you wanted it to be. Does that help? Just make sure you hit save up at the top so that it actually saves. When you go to retweet inside of Twitter, you get two options. One, just to retweet what that person put out so that the people on your feed are able to see it, and it makes it more widely seen. But you also have the option to retweet and add a comment. So you can retweet and then give your thoughts as to why you are retweeting that information. And then something we love around here is our hashtags. So using a hashtag in front of a word or a phrase that you're tweeting out kind of gives some credibility to what you're doing in a way, but it also gives a way for people to follow that hashtag. For example, right now we're using VB Always Learning as a district over these virtual days, our continuity of learning. And if you use something like, there's another application called TweetDeck where you can just put a hashtag up at the top and it'll give you every tweet that was used that hashtag, and it gives people a way to follow along with a specific hashtag. So there are some hashtags that we use a lot in our district, like VB Always Learning, VB Strong, just hashtag VB Schools. There's some different hashtags like that that are out there that I can't think of off the top of my head that I use all the time. We use Stallion Pride in ours. So especially during these virtual weeks, all of our days, if you wanted to share what you were wearing, if you use Stallion Pride, that will alert people to follow that hashtag of your post, even if they don't follow you in particular. So that's how it really helps, is if you use the hashtag, people who don't normally follow you can see what you've posted. Does that make sense? So where to get started? Who should you follow? Well, of course you should follow Green Run. So there's Green Run High School _ Stallions. GRC's is at GRC something, but if you search the things, you can also get it. It'll start to pop up. Mr. Tarkington, Miss Lehner, VB Schools, my Twitter at Beach Soup. Dr. Spence uses Twitter a lot. It's definitely one of his go-to ways of keeping a pulse of the district and the teachers and where they're coming from. He tweeted this morning that he was pretty emotional reading the Twitter responses from the teachers over the last 24 hours, and it made him very sad. It also gave him a lot of hope for what's to come. He definitely uses Twitter a lot. Occasionally, he's got some sassy posts for students and other people. He's pretty funny on snow days. He's definitely one to follow.
And I just wanted to share that if you're new to Twitter, at the bottom where you have the little magnifying glass, that's usually where I go if I'm looking for somebody, and a little toolbar pops up that says search Twitter, and you can type in the @ symbol and then search for somebody based on the things that are on the screen.
Yep.
And then there's a way to add them or follow them. I think it's the follow button in the top right where you click follow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing that you can do is kind of lurk on other people's pages. So if you go to Miss Lehner's page, you can click and see who she's following. And so that's another way to see and get ideas. I do that occasionally. I'll click on another ITS's page to see who they're following. Maybe they've got someone good that, and Twitter also gives you recommendations based on who you're following. And so in the beginning, that was another great way for me to add to who I wanted to follow, is to look at those recommendations of based on these 5 people, who does it think I would like to also follow?
And there are ways that you can, I know some people, you know, are less comfortable with the idea of just anybody following you. So you can have settings that make you more private so that you would have to approve somebody following your information. My profile is wide open, but I do try to monitor who's following me. And if it's something that looks a little bit sketchy or not in alignment with what I'm trying to put out there, then I will go in and block them or mute them from being able to see me. Is there anybody who needs support with being able to change those settings, or are you guys good? Sweet.
Okay. So now it's time for you guys to take over and give your first tweets. So your assignment is to tweet something positive about the situation that we're experiencing, and not to forget to
have a line through your audio.
use the hashtag Stallion Pride, and the hashtag BB Always Learning is also a good one to add on to that. I'm going to minimize this so that I can see what you guys need help with and see if we can get some tweets sent out.
And Jen, Jocelyn had a question about her Twitter handle. When it pops up on Green Run Stallions, her name above the Twitter handle says Jocelyn Wells GRHS, but her default is the Jocelyn 768197161. So she was asking, can I change the default, or does she have to create a whole new profile?
Let's see. I don't know. So that shows, yeah, I see it. Let's look on Twitter. Oops.
If you guys haven't yet put what your Twitter handle is, put that in the chat box so that we can connect with each other.
So I'm going to go back to screen sharing and pull up my Twitter and see if we can, it's easier for me to look at it and answer your question.
I think I tried one time as well, and I couldn't get mine to change either. It seemed like it was fixed.
I am pretty sure there's a way.
You're smarter than us, Jen, so I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I don't know about that. So I'm pretty sure that it's down here in this more section, and then there's settings and privacy. Yeah, so if you go to the more option and then settings and privacy, here's where my ad is. So if you click on that, then you can change your username to @whatever you want instead of the number.
Laura, I don't think I think we did hashtag Stallion Pride for your tweet.
Yes, hashtag Stallion Pride.
And I was going to send you guys a picture tweet. I know sometimes I get questions about that, like how do I @ somebody, or how do I tag them in a photo? And some people don't have the settings that you can be tagged in a photo. So I'm going to tag you guys if I can. And then if you want to be able to do something like that, let me know.
Yes.
Or let Jen know, we can go over that.
I think I'm following most of you, but I will Keep adding.
And is there a way to edit, like if you hit the button too fast and you misspelled something? I might have
No,
missed
it's
it in
the biggest,
beginning.
horriblest thing about Twitter is you can't edit your posts. You have to delete it and redo it again. It drives me crazy.
So how do you delete it? If I put Matt T instead of Mr. T, like auto-corrected.
Yes. If you, there's a little, I used to call it carrot with my little elementary. There's a minimize button on the right-hand side. If you click on that, it might be 3 dots. Anyways, it's on the right-hand side in the corner of your post. If you click on that, delete is there.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll try that again and reread it.
Don't know why in 2020 there isn't an edit button, but it's frustrating. As a teacher, you don't want to look like you're not smart and then you leave little words out or spell something wrong because it auto-corrects before you realize it.
Anybody need help?
I have a question, Jen.
Yes, ma'am.
So the student activities Twitter page,
Mm-hmm.
no one seems to have the password for it. And Shannon's email doesn't exist anymore. So we can't request to have it sent there. So do I have to start a brand new page?
I'd start a brand new page and just get it started from there. It's probably easier than, I mean, you could go to Twitter and see if they'll do it, but they're probably not going to reset it for you and give you rights to an account without, yeah. So
Okay,
you probably just need to start a new page.
thank you.
Ms. Wells, what aren't you finding?
Hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm just not finding, I'm trying to change this at thing and I can't find it at all.
Okay. Let me pull my, screen
Oh,
back
hold on,
up and see if I can look.
It's account, login, security, username.
So do you see
Sure.
more?
I didn't find a more at all, but I found, so I'm doing it on my phone.
You're doing it on your phone and I'm doing it on the computer, which is a little different. Let me see if I can.
That's a lot different. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think I found it though. I think I found it under account, login, and security, username. And then I pushed on that and I have current. and then it says, "Are you
found it
current?"
on my phone.
Yeah, if you go to
Yeah.
settings and privacy on your phone, and then the first option is accounts, and then username is where the at.
And then it gives you a bunch of already been takens and all this kind of stuff. So now I'm seeing more options.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they did that in the beginning.
Wouldn't it though?
Maybe, yeah. Okay. We're good.
Yay.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I was kind of stuck on that.
So what's Green Run's Twitter at thing? I don't even know what to call it.
Their
Um,
handle?
Yeah, at what?
GRHS_stallions.
At
It's case sensitive, so it's all capital GRHS.
Oh, it's
I
all
have-
capital.
Yep. If you go to the search, the little magnifying glass, and type in the search Green Run High School, though, it'll come up and you can follow it from there. And then it
Okay,
starts
so
to auto-
okay. So I found you, or us or I clicked on it and now
You gonna
Yeah.
hit follow?
Where's that? Oh, follow. Oh, okay.
You good.
Okay, gotcha.
So once you follow people and you start to type things in, it'll start to auto-populate and figure out what you want. So if I know somebody's name but I don't know their Twitter handle, if you type in their name, it'll usually give you their Twitter handle as well.
Oh, okay.
You didn't pop up yet, Mr. Zano. Did you hit follow?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I did. Hold on.
Okay.
I don't know how to go back to that. Okay.
You're fine.
Yeah, it says that I'm following
Okay.
in the blue oval. So,
I gotcha. Yep, you just popped up.
okay.
Mr. Jacobs and Green Run Innovation Lab have a Twitter page that's really good to follow too.
So what I like to do is and of course this is all when you have time, which fortunately, hopefully we do now. I like to go through people who I like on Twitter, for example, like authors or people who I respect in education. And I know Jen mentioned this earlier, but I'll look at who they follow. And I started with like big time people who I wouldn't know. And then that connected me eventually to some people who I do know. And sometimes you can even look at the people who follow you and go to follow them back. And through following them back, you'll start to connect there because people may follow Allison because she's a BBCPS counselor. And so she'll create a network of counselors. So then Allison, if you go look at who they follow, more than likely, you know, you've got a lot of connections there. So I use that following and whatever the two tabs are, the followers and the following.
And the more you tweet, the more I found people who previously were maybe untouchable because they just had more clout or than you'll find that they'll actually start to tweet you back and retweet you and follow you, and you'll think, how is Alice Keeler following me? What does she think? You know, and so it's gives you aspects, connections to people you wouldn't normally think that you would get connections to.
And I don't know what the official etiquette is for retweeting versus favoriting, but you'll notice when you follow Green Run Stallions that I always retweet and favorite. That's just what I do. I don't know if that's the right thing or not. And then sometimes I'll retweet with a comment, like if it's not just that I want to retweet whatever the quote is or the article is, if I want to pull a quote out of it or if I want to say something, give commentary about it, then you can do the retweet with the comment. And you kind of have to hold down the retweet button and it'll pop up. Do you want to just retweet it or retweet with making a comment?
I have a question. So when I get into my Twitter, I'm overwhelmed because I see a bunch of feed from people that I'm not following. It's almost like a bunch of advertisements. I guess I expected it to be more like Facebook where you log in and you see your friends or people you're following. How can I remove some of that? And these are people I'm not following. Like I just logged in and I saw, Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani. Like how do I remove that?
Some of there's going to be a certain level of advertising that's just going to come up because there's advertising in social media.
Okay.
So some of it is going to happen regardless. The more people you follow too, the more the other things get weeded out because there's actual people you follow. So as you go in and start to populate your followers more, you see less and less of that and just see retweets. So that helps as well. And then there are some things that if you absolutely, this is just not appropriate for my professional account, if you click on it, you can block some things from showing up as well by clicking, I think it's the 3 dots. Let me pull up my phone.
Well, I know I did that one time with something that popped up, but I don't remember how I did it.
Well, there's an X on the right-hand side that says, so show fewer tweets from this name. This tweet isn't relevant. Mute this person. Report it if it's completely inappropriate. So by clicking on the X, you can kind of guide Twitter and knowing what you want to see and what you don't want to see.
Okay, thank you.
That help?
Yes.
Can you post like your PowerPoint somehow, send it to us?
Yeah, at the very top of this chat, if you scroll up, my PowerPoint link is there, but I can put it on here again.
Very...
There you go. And for those of you that want something more advanced that have been using Twitter for a while, there is a another app you can put on your phone. We have access to it through VB School, so if you sign into it with your long email account, it's called Adobe Spark, but there's a Spark post that you can put on your phone. And it's a good way, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's a good way to create like pictures and put quotes in that makes them pretty and just gives you nice graphics. So if you wanted to do that, that's what I've been using to create like our Equus Week post and what day we are for our Spirit Weeks and things like that. So Adobe Spark is what it is on your computer, and then the app for that is called Spark Post.
And you said we have to sign into it for the Adobe Spark post?
So when you come up with the Adobe Spark, yeah, you can log in, and I just logged in with my school account. But it's your long email. It's not your short email. The nice thing is whatever I've created on my computer with my school account also shows up on my phone. So if I do the graphics on my computer because I can see it better and it's bigger and easier to do, and then log in on my phone, those same graphics appear so that I could just save it to my phone and put it in my Twitter, put it in my tweets.
So when I go to Adobe Spark on the PC, it says, like, it gives you continue with Google, but it also gives you like teacher or student
No, you
login
want
to
to
school
pick
account.
teacher or student. Don't
Okay.
sign in with Google on this instance. Sign in with your school account.
All
And
right,
then
thanks.
the email that you put in is going to be your long email.
What about if you do it on your phone?
You're going to use your long email to sign in on your phone.
Okay. Well, I believe I did that, and then I'm at Adobe ID, like create an account for an Adobe ID or an enterprise ID?
Enterprise.
Enterprise, okay.
Sorry, it's been a while since I logged in. I'm not sure all their questions.
Okay, I thought I just created a student activities account, but I can't find it anywhere.
Do you remember what you named it? I can look and see if I can find it.
I think I put my name in,
All right, well, let's see.
but I don't see, because I have a personal one and that one keeps popping up. And I don't know how to like change it because I use the school email.
That's what this is for, Miss Twyman. Don't you worry. We're going to figure it out.
We'll find you.
I was just typing in a couple of suggestions for people to follow, just educators or positive uplifter tweeters for anybody who's interested. And I also included our admin team for anybody on the admin team who has a Twitter.
So, Miss Twyman, I see one that's Twyman Shawnee, which is your personal one, but then I also see one that's the opposite, and that's at Shawnee Twyman. So
Oh, that might be it.
that's, I think, it.
Would it be helpful to everybody to have a list of all stallions with a Twitter account, and we could maybe do it by department or just for people to be able to connect?
Yeah, that would help.
Okay. Maybe, Jen, we could do like a Google Doc or something where people could fill in their info.
We do that. Hey, Rob.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
What I missed?
Everything.
Everything.
My windows.
Good one, good one.
Rob, I think I have a check coming in a couple weeks. Maybe 2 checks.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Did you find it?
No, that's not it either. I'll just talk to you afterwards.
Okay.
I don't hold up the class.
I'm
Really,
still trying to
Zaina?
figure out. I'm still trying to figure out how to follow Green Run on Twitter.
Okay, so did you go on to the search? Are you using it on your phone or on your computer?
I'm on my computer.
Okay.
And I went to the search and I looked up Green Run and I clicked on Green Run. And then I saw a bunch of the Green Run information and the picture of AJ and all that stuff.
Right.
I'm not sure. Am
So
I following?
there should be a blue button at the top. It either says follow or following.
Okay, let me see.
Right there.
Jen Eason is showing you on her screen. You can see her.
Oh, is she? Let me see a blue button that says follow or following.
Right. It's in the top, like an oval.
Right there. Top right.
You said top right?
Yep, usually under the header. So do you see my screen?
Let me go home. Let me look at your screen. Hold on.
Let me go.
Mr. Glenn,
Yes.
you know why it's not working, right?
I don't even want to know why.
Because you got an Android phone.
See, I'm on my computer. So. You always talking about my phone. Let me see.
Wait, is it a flip phone?
Uh-oh.
No.
Okay.
It's a note. It's not too bad. I don't have that follow. Let me see. Let me go back to Green. Let me type in Green Run again over on the right hand corner.
Yep.
Okay, Green Run High School.
And then select it.
Okay, I selected it. And I don't see, unless I clicked on no, I didn't click on the wrong Green Run. It just says Green Run High School.
Do you see the crest?
The lock not working.
No. When I click on Green Run High School, I see a picture of, it says Coach Quinn Edwards. It has a picture of somebody graduating and.
I don't know what happened to this lock. It's really not working. What are they doing?
Rob, put your stuff on mute, Rob.
Oh, my fault. I'm locked.
Let me try Green Run again.
Yeah, there's one that says Green Run. When you type in and it says Green Run High School, there's one that says Green Run _ and it's the cheerleaders. I see the football team. So they're all Green Run accounts, but they're not the Green Run account.
Yeah, I see Green Run Football. I see Green Run High School Cheerleaders, Green Run DECA.
I see the
So
same
try
thing.
typing in the GRHS _ stallions and see.
Okay, let me try that. GRHS _ Stallions. Okay, I see it.
Okay. Then if you select
Okay, and
that,
there's the follow button.
There you
Okay,
go.
did it follow?
yes.
Yeah.
And if you ever follow someone and then decide this is not what I thought it was going to be, if you go back to that follow button, it turns red and you can unfollow.
Okay.
Like I started following a teacher in Texas, and then over the course of this week, she's had some comments that I didn't necessarily agree with, and I just unfollowed her. I just didn't want the drama. And
Right. Okay, cool.
I come to Twitter for positivity, not airing your
Yeah.
political grievances.
Right. Now, if I wanted to tweet something, I'll hit the tweet.
Yep. So on your feed page, your home page,
Yes.
where it says what's happening, that's where you're going to type in your thoughts. You can @ people or hashtag or add all of that.
So how do you send like pictures and things? Like I know Leslie always does like the little pictures of like inspiration and stuff. How do you do that?
So Leslie, do you have tips on how you do what you do?
Yeah, I use Pinterest a lot to find the pictures or the quotes that I tweet. So I'll use Pinterest or I'll use Google and Google Images to find a quote. And then once I save that to my camera roll, like on my phone where my other pictures are, when you go to create a tweet,
You're on the phone.
I can't share my screen. Can you see it? No? Jen, do you want to pull up maybe just like go to tweet and we can show how you upload a picture?
Yeah. So on my computer is going to be a little bit different than on your phone. But down below there are, this first one is to upload a picture to add to it.
Okay.
And then the second one is a GIF. And so if you hit GIF, then you can add in all the silliness.
want to fix that one, Jen, before you post it.
I will. I'm getting there.
Teeters is funny though.
Teeters.
I think that's the correct classification for me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Aw. I got yours, Miss Bottolato.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I did that right.
Cute puppies.
Hmm.
Ooh. All right. Any questions? Anything else you guys want to venture into?
How do you go and see like where, like what everybody just posted? Like how do you go to a hashtag or?
For me, the easiest thing to do, let me pull my screen back up. We're going to venture into another option, but I use TweetDeck. And so TweetDeck allows me to follow multiple hashtags at one time. So I'm a Schoology ambassador, and so I follow Schoology chat and the ambassador hashtag. So my messages show up, Schoology hashtags, the Virginia Beach ITS hashtags. You can follow multiple hashtags at one time and be able to see what people are tweeting. So let me change this one to So I changed that one to Stallion Pride, and now everything in this column is going to be that hashtag, so I can see everything everyone just tweeted. It's an easy way for me to go down and just like all of the comments. And you can retweet from here as well. So you tie it to your Twitter account, and I can see my notifications, my private messages, which as you see are nothing that extraordinary.
And I guess if you don't have TweetDeck, the same space where you go to look for people to follow, when you click the @ and then type in the username, you can do the same thing with a hashtag.
So you can just do a follow and click one. Yep.
Yep.
In the search bar.
So there's just that single one, and I can go through and like them. And still I get ads.
No stallion runs alone. We found you, Shawnee. I know we've gone a little bit over our time because we got started a little bit later, but does anybody have any other needs or questions? Thoughts?
Just a little plug. Every day I'm on a Google Meet. The Google Meet extension is at the top of our ITS Stallions page. I'm on that every day from 9 to 11. But then the other ITS from Salem High School is on there from 11:30, usually 11, but 11:30 officially until 2. And he knows that Green Run also has that. So if you guys pop in and you don't see me, but you see Lee Cooper or one of the other librarians there, they're there to answer your questions as well. So if you need instructions and someone to share a screen and walk you through something, Lee is there as well. So pretty much the whole official work day, there's someone on there that can walk you through how to do things if you need us. And we're going to continue that for the rest of the year. So feel free to pop in there if you have anything that you want to try or get walked through, because it's really easy for us to share our screen and walk you through it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thanks.